Week 2 of the UDL is here now. We are doing this in postcom. I am a bit late to recording this game. I've just been really busy in all honesty, but I finally got around to it. And yeah, we are playing against SinOfWrath, who's a very good player, and they also have a very interesting team, because they drafted all four of the Ruinous Quartet. Yes, Chien power was allowed, even though really shouldn't have. That mon is very broken. But as you can see here, this is the team, but they also have Terra, Ogerpon, Half-Flame. So, despite drafting all four of them, their team is still somehow incredibly scary. Sableye proved to be a pretty big threat as well as stuff like just Mesprit, Cyclozar, Tinglu, just being all annoying in general, a good defensive backbone for his team. So here we are just going to lead up with our Deoxys. We do have dual screens on the set, and we're just going to lead it. If we see Sableye, we will switch, and we do indeed switch out in front of this because of the likely taunt. Now, for this, we do have our Pheasantipity. This was one of the main reasons why I did want to bring it. Just because we are actually running no attacks Deoxys. I felt like they have like 5 dark types or something on their team, and we're not really going to be able to do any meaningful damage. So here I fully expect a taunt lead, and we do see it as we go out into Pheasantipity. So everything works out great there. And here I really don't think that they should stay in. So I consider going for a player off, but they do have switch-ins at this point, so we're just gonna go for a U-turn, keep up our momentum, and try and get an early lead in this game. So here we see them think through their move. The Sableye has a real taunt. Obviously could have some other stuff, so I expect like recover, could be dual screens, a lot of different options that I could run. But here we just see the switch out into their Mesprit. So U-turn ends up being the correct call there, so I'm glad I went for that. Doesn't do much damage, but we do get the toxic chain poison, so that is very nice for us. Pheasantipity actually putting in some work. I notoriously hate this mon, so I'm glad to see it put in some work there. So against this Mesprit, now it could be Colbur, so going Darkrai is probably a bit too early, so we do just decide to go out into our Deoxys. You know, start getting some screens up. We do also have rocks on this set, though Cyclozar still can spin them away because I'll just be honest, I had a look at some of the calcs, and yeah, Goldengo's like not bringable to this matchup between Chien Pao, Tinglu, Chiyu, and the Terra Ogerpon Half-Flame, even Sableye to be honest. So unfortunately we're not able to go for that option, but we do just go for a Reflect here, and we do see a U-turn here. So far things are actually going to plan. The plays are working out how I meant to. Now obviously this is all still set up, and we're yet to see much of the gameplay out here, but for now things are seem to be going our way, as we just set up a Reflect here with our Deoxys. I do expect their Sableye Sableye to come back out here. So do just see it come back in. Our switch into this is always Pheasantipity. Obviously Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave can be really annoying from this thing as well, so we do want to be careful around it. Pheasantipity is definitely not going to be affected too much by those. Obviously Will-O-Wisp could be annoying, but we do just see a knockoff into our Pheasantipity. We do also have Toxic because of that, if they want to weaken the power of Play Rough with Burn, so we do also have that option. And here, I mean, they don't really have the best switch-ins to this, so switching Ogerpon in on a potential poison move wouldn't be great, so they do just take this player off we also get the Toxic Chain, as we do just see them go for another knockoff. So the play actually ends up working out in our favor, so that's obviously great. The Sableye is now low HP, we're able to get it out of the way quickly, and here we can just go for another player off cleanup. Well, could have gone for U-turn, but you know what? At this point in the game, it doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, we're just gonna see what they want to do here. Now, obviously, if they're gonna bring this back out, it's gonna be a sack, so they might opt to let this go down, gain some momentum on their side. Maybe go to their Mesprit, maybe Ogerpon Halflame. But we do also just see them carrying Reflect, so that's also a very good move on their end. As this does go down, but they were able to get some stuff up before it went down. We did also have Toxic if they went for that first, but luckily they didn't. And yeah, we're just gonna see what they want to go out into here. They have quite a few options. Probably gonna force switch out onto us, and we do just see the Ogerpon Halflame. So put on some immediate pressure, maybe with a Terra Fire, Ivy Cudgel. I'll be so honest, we really don't have any switch into this, but now the main one that Fez was made to check has gone down in Sableye. We are happy to eat this. Well, eat is generous. To be honest, doing this, I wasn't even sure I was gonna live at all, because this mon is incredibly strong, and that is why this mon is usually banned, because when it goes Terra Fire, it not only gets the Terra boost, obviously, to all of its moves, but it also gets a +1 attack buff, which is just crazy. That's like Zacian if it can Terra, right? Obviously base form, but Pheasant Divinity is gonna be goated, take that, perfectly fine, and just get on out of there with a U-turn. So we do obviously have that in, back as a sack. Obviously we could potentially use it later if we can get a roost off, but here we're gonna go out into our choice scarf called Quavel. Hopefully force a switch. Obviously we could go for Wave Crash, but predicting switch here, I do go for a flip turn. I expect them to switch out here. Obviously Ogerpon can take a lot of damage from hazards, but we don't have our spin blocker with us today, so that's a bit unfortunate. I did have some interesting ideas with Goldenga, but in the end I decided, like, yeah, they're not really that great here, and I think I'm happy with the build I ended up going with. We do just go for a flip turn out here on the Mesprit switching. And now there are a few options we can make. Obviously we could go back out into Deoxys, set up another better position for us, or we could just go Deoxys, or sorry, I mean Darkrai. Obviously here I am worried that they could be Cobra, Thunderwave or something. I'm not too sure, but we do just go out, back out into our Deoxys. See what we want to go for here. We do still have our Reflect up, so I am thinking on what we want to do. So here I just do go for a Stealth Rock. Maybe a bit of a misplay, because they can just go back out into their Cyclizar. Pretty risk free here, so as we do just see a U-turn from them, so maybe not my best play, I'll be honest. To be honest, going Deoxys probably wasn't my play entirely, but it's fine. We're still in a pretty decent position, all things considered. We got rid of the Sableye, which is really annoying for us in the end game. It can really cripple so many of our mons, and we do see a Cyclizar now come out on a kind of predicted spin, but there's not really much. But again, I probably should go out into something that can punish this thing a bit more than staying with Deoxys. I obviously do contemplate it. I don't really have a great play. Obviously this thing could be back in Dragon Stab, which will be annoying for Garchomp. It's kinda hard to go for a good play here, but obviously so here I do just end up, I believe, going for a Taunt. We could also go for a Light Screen, but yeah, we go for a Taunt. As we do just see a very free Rapid Spin. Now, thinking about it, I could have even gone Darkrai, right? We are Scarf, we are faster than this. Obviously, they could be AV, and Knockoff is a bit annoying, but getting rid of most of this thing's health is great, but now they just go for a knockoff before we're able to get the screen, so I don't know about that play. I'll be honest. Obviously hindsight is something that you don't have here, but I'm trying not to lose my position too much here. So now we get our reflect up, could even be an opportunity to get Serendipity back in. And I do think about it, what play do I want to go for here? Now, here we could also go to Serendipity, to be honest, maybe predicting another knockoff. We do have reflect up at least, so we will be able to take a hit from this, so we do end up just going for that. We could potentially get Roost off, or maybe even a Toxic, right? Force a lot of progress into their team, as we do just see a knockoff, so that works out great for us. And here we just simply opt to go for a Toxic here. They're probably going to switch out, unless they can just kill us here, obviously. But we do just go for a Toxic. Obviously it'll be great if we can get poison off on this thing, if they want to go for a switch out to maybe like Ting Lu or something, or like maybe an more aggressive switch into Ugabon Halflame, which is something they have shown to be willing to do here. And yeah, we do just see a U-turn. Honestly, they've been making all the right calls, to be honest. And yeah, go out into their Ugabon, but I'm happy we were able to catch that. Obviously we could have gotten caught out on a Roost. I definitely see their thought process here. I do think that it would have put us in kind of a bad spot, but we do go for the Toxic. Get the poison off this thing, put this thing on a timer, right? Obviously this thing hits incredibly hard, and it's less of a defensive Pokemon. We're not really able to get up hazards here, so obviously it's not gonna like completely cripple it per se, but it's gonna get some nice chip, maybe put it in range of our Darkrai or something in the back. So that is definitely something to consider here when in this game. So we do just go for a U-turn out, just in case they want to go for Swords Dance or something. We're able to catch them out, but we do just see them go for Horn Leech as well, get a bit of recovery off, and yeah, our Serendipity will go down here. So here obviously I don't have many revenges to this. To be honest, our only real answer to this is our Quagsire. Obviously we are Choice Scarf. I am contemplating going Garchomp here, but obviously if they go Play Rough, that's pretty scary. Obviously we don't know that yet. Might need to scout for maybe some more information on this set to see what they might want to go for here. But ultimately, Quagsire is a pretty free play here. Obviously they could go out for some switches and stuff, but yeah, we just go into it. They know that we are Choice Scarf, by the way. We've brought this in not once but twice. So we're just gonna go out for Flip Turn here, and they do go for a switch out of their own, and they go out into their Psychozar, so we do catch them on that. Honestly, playing really well, knowing that I cannot afford to go for a fighting move there, probably. Well, it definitely would have been interesting. And here we do just go to our Darkrai, finally put on some pressure, go for that fighting Terra Blast into this, start getting some big damage on this. We are Choice Scarf, but also with the option to go for a Trick and Nasty Plot if you want to completely change our gears, just like Psychozar, and start, and yeah, that's probably, don't want to do that if like the Chien-Pao's still there. Obviously Choice Scarf is really nice for that. Choice Scarf Chien-Pao's could be a possibility, but also Heavy Duty Boots would make sense, all stuff like that. So we're just gonna see what they want to go for here. They now switch out on their Darkrai, and we do see them go out into their Ting Lu, so like, this is big super effective damage, right? So we do just go for a Terra Fighting and a Terra Blast. We are modest, quite a more aggressive creep, but we did need it to be able to take out the Chi-Yu. So that's the thought process behind that. So we're probably going to do a lot of damage to this, right? We're going to go for Terra Fighting, Terra Blast. It's super effective. So let's see how much damage it does. And oh no. So yeah, this is a absolutely max Bidef. Assault Vest Tinglu as per def as you can possibly get. And yeah, you guys just saw how little damage it took from a terrifying Terror Blast, not only from the fact it was super effective from a Darkrai, but also modest max special attack as well. So that is just how bulky Tinglu is. So obviously I'm a bit shaken. I am gonna have to reposition. Obviously my with how my thoughts were, I was expecting that to do a bit more, but obviously we're gonna have to change some things up. And here we're gonna go out into our Deoxys, hopefully be able to get something off, like a Reflect or something, a Taunt Vote. We have seen this thing's AV, but no, it just goes for an Earthquake. Maybe Moltres was a better play there in hindsight, but obviously it's not the end of the world. We're kind of low health anyways. And here we are we have a few plays. We obviously could go back out into our Quack, or could go into our Moltres, start getting some nice stuff off on this. Obviously them going out hard Ogerpon is quite a big threat. And I mean, we could be like Hurricane and stuff, kind of depends how aggressive they're willing to be, but they have shown to have been doing that quite a lot. So here we're just gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp. Obviously they could Stone Edge, but like after a Will-O-Wisp we should be able to take it. They're not like offensively invested, as we've already seen from that truly incredible amount of, or lack thereof, damage that it took from Darkrai. So here we're just gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp, get this thing burned, and await their turn. So here we do just see them go switch out, and we see them switch out into our Cyclizar. So great, we get a burn off this, but no, we do not actually get a burn of it because we miss. A bit annoying for sure. Getting that thing burned would have been nice, but honestly they don't really have that much in the way of hazards now other than their Mesprit. So maybe it's fine just to let Moltres take this, go for a U-turn out, let ourselves get knocked off, because we go Darkrai here. Now obviously this could make sense, now we have the option of being able to go for a Nasty Plot without going for a Trick, but they do also have that Chien Pow in the back, so now looking back on it, perhaps not my best play. Now we're pretty free to go for a Terrifying Terror Blast. We probably could go for a Nasty Plot as well, but we do just see them go out into their Tinglu here. So we go for a Terrifying Terror Blast. We launch that off at the Tinglu. It's probably gonna do. And I mean, Chip is Chip, right? They don't have a way to heal up this Tinglu other than Healing Wish from, say, Mesprit. And here we're just gonna go out into our Moltres. It is now our switch into this, and we do just get nailed by a Stone Edge. So kind of rough, but here we do decide to go for a Roost. We want health on this. Obviously Earthquake will be quite a risky predict if we go for a Will-O-Wisp, so I do just go for a play. Did I click Roost there? I'm pretty sure I did. As I did say, this is post-com. But we do see them go out into the Ogerpon, so a nice aggressive play. But you know, we take this, right? Like obviously they do get Rock Tomb. I'm not sure why this guy gets Rock Tomb, probably specifically for Moltres, but we survive this, right? We in fact do not survive this, and for the second week in a row, Moltres gets pretty much one shot by a rock move. So yeah, yep. So sometimes quad weaknesses can be rough, especially when it's to a type like rock, where a lot of mons get rock coverage for absolutely no reason. Same with ground weaknesses, to be honest. But here we obviously can go into Chomp. I do also have suspicions that they might be adamant based on the amount of damage to they did to Moltres. I'll be so honest, I didn't calc this, but we need a way to start getting back into the game. Yeah, really that play started shifting some momentum into their side, and we need to make a play to be able to get back at them. So we do actually go first, so they are adamant, and luckily we are able to get a knockout on that Ogerpon. I'm not sure if it was a roll or not, but we'll honestly take it at this point. And it turns out they were adamant and double kick as well, in case we had lead Smeargle, which was something I considered, but after realizing that Goldengo wasn't really the greatest, like it had uses, but I mean, it's sometimes there's just the truth that it's just weak to so much on their team. And yeah, obviously we take that down, but they do have a Shen Pao in the back, so you better not forget that. I am definitely assuming it has Ice Shard for this, but I'm beginning to think, what play loses me the game? We have Darkrai and Quagsire in the back. Obviously Quagsire will be able to pick this off with a close combat or any of its moves, but it can end up being pretty scary if they go for predicts, and say they go for Psychic Fangs, right, or something like that. The game is just over on the predict. So, as risky as it is, I just decide to attack here. Obviously they could Ice Shard, but we do end up making the right call as they go for the Psychic Fangs, and going for the call that the play was perhaps just too risky, and we don't really have a switch in. We need to do what we can at this point to not lose the game. Obviously Ice Shard comes out from the Shen Pao now, which is a bit unfortunate, and yeah, they do put us in quite a tough spot here. We are down just to our Choice Scarf, Quagsire, and our Darkrai, which did regrettably lose its Choice Scarf in perhaps a misplay from me from switching it in on that Cyclizar, to be honest. So here we will be able to pick it up with a flip turn, so we go for a play there, but obviously they do elect to switch out into their Cyclizar here, as we do go for a flip turn. So obviously it will be nice to get damage with our Darkrai, but we do see the game that is slowly slipping away from us. So here we go to our Darkrai. They did also show to be AV Darkrai, AV Cyclizar after the game, but here we just go for a Terra Fighting Terra Blast, and they do elect just to go out into their Tinglu. Sack it off here, that doesn't really have too much use. And yeah, we just go for Terra Fighting Terra Blast. Luckily this will be able to two-shot, but this mon's done more than enough, right? It's actually taken these hits so unbelievably well, it's crazy. And no, I will not run Focus Blast because I will miss. And I will rather play well than lose because I risked just missing for no reason. So here they go out into Shen Pao. Things are looking kinda rough. They have Mesprit and Cyclizar in the back, but we're gonna have to do what we have to do. Go for a Terra Fighting Terra Blast here with our Darkrai. Start playing towards an end game. They go for Psychic Fangs, and now it's all down to our Quagsire. Will we be able to take home the game here? Now obviously I could go for close combat or Wave Crash, but that will be punished by the Mesprit or the Cyclizar in the game. And I look at what's the other option we have. Knockoff. It's a roll to kill, but honestly I would rather go out with a shot to win than go out a coward, okay? We're gonna hit that roll. Like, I'm not even sure it's gonna be able to get the kills on that Mesprit, on that Cyclizar, but you know what, we are going for game. Do we get the roll? We go for knockoff, and they live just on a sliver of health. I'm pretty sure they said it lived on literally 1 HP. And yeah, they're just gonna now be able to clean up with an Ice Shard. So we're gonna take an unfortunate 3-0 loss. Obviously we could have made it a 2-0 loss, but you know what, I would rather go out fighting than just playing for diff knowing that I've already lost. And yeah, that is gonna be our week 2 game of the UDL. Obviously, sorry this is a bit late, and also for the fact that it's post-com, but we finally were able to get it out. And yeah, thanks to Sin, he played incredibly as well. Definitely went for the right play multiple times. I was able to catch him on quite a few plays, but yeah, that was our week 2 game. And thank you for watching. Maybe leave a like and sub. I don't know, that's what you're meant to say. And yeah, bye.